Hey, Wolfpack. How's it going? I know if you were in Fashion Sewing Club yesterday, you heard me say, I'm not going to be here today. I'm going to be out on a boat. But guess what? It's pouring rain, and my stack of things to get done was this long. So I've got a few minutes just to hang out with you. I want to show you the dresses from last week. So pop in, say hi. I am live, but not for super long. I just want to share a couple things with you. Okay, the dresses turned out great. If you missed last week's show, hop on over. You can see Kira here. She's wearing her dress. It's a bathing suit cover up, the sportswear. Well, Sienna wants a tank top. She doesn't want a dress. So I can either take her dress back and take it in or make her a tank top. And guess what? I have just enough fabric for a tank top. So I'm going to cut one out. But what I really wanted to show you, I was trying to brainstorm on how to finish the edges. I didn't want something super thick for the binding. Well, I came up with something pretty darn slick, and I think you're going to like it. It actually turned the dresses into reversible. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's a little trick. You need your serger, your cover stitch machine, and of course, some fabulous fabric. So before I head out and show you all that, say hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you all. So, yeah. Hey, Lorraine. Yeah, you can, because I'm not shipping until Monday when I get back. By the way, anyone who ordered the custom, the really nice big trays for the 50 colors of thread for my collection for Brother, not the thread, but the trays that hold them, they are made custom. So they take about 2 weeks to get here. And I have a batch coming in this week. And then on Monday, I will ship them all out. So Lorraine, go ahead and add, and I will refund your extra shipping. So shop away, Lorraine. So do you ever have those days where nothing quite is melding together? Not negative, but just not quite there. I'm having one of those days. So if I sew something backwards, I'm sure it's going to happen today. And I even walked out of the house with no glasses, and I found these in a box, and they're crooked. And I forgot to put my phone on silent. Or are you calling me to tell me that, right? Hold on. Okay. uh, you just can't make stuff up like that, There's a word for it, but probably not on the live show. So I want to show you, we're going to cut a quick tank. I want to show you how I finished the neckline and the hem. Super fast, super easy, using the fabulous, wonderful threads that were in the serger that are the variegated. So pop in, say hi, and let's head on over, and this won't take long, but it's going to be fun. Boy, I sure made a mess of my Laura Star ironing board. All right, so here we go. How am I going to turn it into a tank? Well, if you watched last week's episode, then you know that I made dresses. So instead of cutting it off here, I'm going to extend this down. So hopefully there's enough. We'll see. And enough for the bindings. But if not, I found another solution. So here's the back. This fabric is so much fun. Remember Kira and Sienna? They said the only thing they wanted for their birthday was glitter and slime. Well, my sister said she was going to unsister me. Is that kind of like unfriending? If I bought either of those. So this is what we ended up with. That'll be about the same length. Okay, so here's just the front. Yep, front fold. I don't need quite that much, which will give me plenty for, I didn't need a bathing suit out of this anyways, right? That's what I was going to make myself. And I need to move over just a little bit so you can actually see this. All right. Now I just need to make sure that the tanks are the same length on the sides. And it is. So I made a few changes. So this one's the back. This one's the front. I lowered the neckline just a little bit. It was just a little too high for me and a little probably too tight to get over their head. So this one's the back. I'll lower it just a little bit more here. And the armholes seem to be fine. All right, so there's the front and the back. Now we need a few more bands. A longer one for the neckline. So hopefully this will be long enough. If not, I'll have to piece it together. And these are 1.5 inches wide. Maybe 1.5 plus 1/8 of an inch. So we got 2 armholes and a neckline. And wait till you see what I did for the hem. All right. So let's just check if we're going to have enough for the neckline before, in case I got to cut another one. It's going to be awfully close. Do I have one more long one around here somewhere? I don't really want to have to piece it together. Well, let's see. We might have to, but I have a solution. Let's do a binding for the front and a binding for the back, and it'll meet at the shoulders. Perfect. All right. Meet you at the serger. So just in case you missed last week, this fabric is athletic wear, so it has a light stretch, a lot of glitter, and the backside is really, really soft. 2 requirements for the girls: glitter and softness, in that order, or either order, but they had to have both. So I'm taking this to the serger, and I have the cover stitch set up with 1 spool of the variegated thread. I could use 2, but I'm only using 1. And then the serger's also set up with 1 spool of the variegated thread, which is standard thread. So this is going to get fun. All right, come on over. And again, in case you missed the picture, it's right here. There's the finished dress. Look really, really close. You can kind of see the hem. Kind of. There you are, Teresa. You are welcome. I did not get them slime. In case you're wondering, that is my sister. No slime, maybe next year, but we got a lot of glitter. So Teresa, in case you missed the beginning, I'm making Sienna a tank. Not making a tank for her dress or her doll, just a tank. All right, come on over to the serger. Let's make this. I think the kids should be able to get out of school and come and sew with me. That would be a lot of fun. All right, here's all my pieces. Hopefully you can see okay. I'll bring you just a little bit closer. So first thing, well, it depends. Are we going to have enough room? I need to check to see if I have enough binding to go all the way around the neckline, because if I don't, then I'm just going to go front to back. And we'll sew that as a separate seam. There's the shoulders. So I need a piece that will go all the way this far. Nope. Well, you have to stretch it a little bit, but not totally. Oh, that one's close. I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to piece this a little bit differently, which that's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, it's so close. Nope, I don't want to risk it. Well, then I guess you're going to get to see the tutorial even better. So I wanted this to be reversible. So I took the pieces And instead of folding this, if you watched last week, you know that I ran some cover stitch thread, the variegated thread, which is super cool. Instead, I found a way that make it really thin. I want this side to be on the front. So take with wrong sides together. I have to pin it first to make sure. I had to do this then too, because you're looking at it and you're thinking, this is backwards. We're going to run that through the serger. So this is the front, this is the neckline. And then I'll end up folding it to the front and using the cover stitch. Something really fun. All right, so come on over. I have the serger set for, let's see, 3-thread wide overlock. I need to change some of my settings because it's set right now for the hem, which you'll see in a moment. So I left this extra. That's all the selvage, which I don't need right now. So I really don't need to use the variegated thread for this part, but I really don't feel like rethreading it. When I get to the center front, I have to stretch just a little bit so it doesn't gap. And line it up straight again. All right, so the first part is finished. And then this will wrap around like this. I'll take you to the ironing board in a moment. All right, let's do it to the other side. So again, it's wrong sides together. And this is the neckline. Get it started there. And again, no stretching at the shoulders for either. The fabric and the binding are 1-to-1. Wait, did I do that right? I did. I told you I keep getting backwards here. All right, looking good. Let's head over to the iron because I do need to press this a little bit. All right. I'm using an iron shoe, so it should not melt this. So this is a little different than last week. So there's my finished edge. Look at how beautiful that looks. I could just leave it like that, but I'm not. I'm folding this over the hem. It's not really a hem. Folding this over the finished edge. All right, making sure I'm not burning anything. Using the clapper so I get a nice crisp crease there. I think that's going to look good. All right, let's do the other side. All right, give it a little bit of pressing here. All right, let's head to the cover stitch machine. All right, just head out just a little bit back here. Whoop! My, oh my gosh, you can't make this day up, I swear. My tripod was having a moment think I wanted to go dancing. So last week I had 2 spools here. If you look up. Last week I had 2 spools of the variegated thread. Now I'm just using 1. Well, I had 2 in the serger. I'm using 1 here in the cover stitch, and then I have 2 needles, and it's the wide cover stitch. So now if I were to stitch with this side up, all I'm going to have is the needle thread, which is purple. I want the other side, and I want the pretty side to show up on this side. So you have to think about it before you do this. I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut off this excess. Right, we don't need all that extra. So I will stitch from this side, and I'm going to run the needles right next to the binding. So my foot is just barely hitting that ribbed section here. And I'm taking care to make sure that my binding is folded all the way over. This turns out so cute. I think I found a new way that I want to do one of my tops. Let's just go with that. Cut off some of this excess. We don't need all that binding left over, but I am going to stitch to the end and then just add the next piece. All right, it's looking good. Making sure that my thread is not getting stuck up there. Pull this out a little bit. There's no need to pull these stitches to the back side because this is going to be in the seam anyways. But wait till you see the big reveal. Okay, come on up to the ironing board. You'll see it better there. Okay, check this out. So this is the wrong side, but it could be reversible because it looks wonderful. Cut off the excess binding because that's going to be my shoulder seam. We'll sew together here in just a moment. Ready? Wait for it. Look at how cute that turned out. Oh my goodness. I was so excited when I saw this. So this is the purple and this is the cover stitch. Now the other thread that I have in the serger is pink. So I'll look at this and kind of go through if I had like a little extra fabric there. I just trimmed that off. Let's do the other side. I know, this came together so fast. So again, trim off the excess binding and then see if there's any extra fabric on that side we need to trim. Oh, I just love this little top. So all of you that bought some of this fabric in the fabric stash sale, I can't wait to see what you made with it. All right, that looks great. So now let's sew the shoulder seams together. We're almost finished. Jeanette, I love that. Fabulously cute. That's my new word for the day. I love it. Okay, let's go back to the serger. Notice I'm only allowing you to stay in this area. If you saw what my studio looks right now, you would die. I need like 3 days to just spend time in here and clean, organize, declutter. Running this through the serger, and I think I'm going to go this way. I don't like to start at the big thick area here, so I'm starting at the other end. I think I cut my shoulders different widths, but guess what? It's no big deal because I can fix it in about 2 seconds. All right, 1, 2, 3. That looks good. I'll just tack that down a little bit so it stays down. Ideally, I really didn't want to have the binding in the seam, but since that's all the fabric we have, we don't have a choice. All right, let's go to the armholes. I know I cut more of these. Okay. Wrong sides together, right? I'm asking you like, somebody help me out. Oh, by the way, did I tell you I also got a notice for jury duty? It's just been one of those weeks. Yeah. Okay, let's roll. I might have to trim off a little bit at the shoulders. Let's see, that's the back. So I want to make sure that this back seam, the shoulder seam goes towards the back. Stretch just a little bit under the arm, and then it's basically 1-to-1 the rest of the way. Just be real careful that you don't stretch the top fabric or you'll end up with gapping. Pretty sure Sienna does not want gapping on her tank. Ooh, just enough. There you go. It's a shame to cover that up, right? But we'll use it for the hem. You'll see in just a moment. So I got one more that I need a long piece for. Please tell me this is long enough. No! This one? You know, I could have used one of these before from this. But I don't want all of that thread to show up. Let's see, what else do we have? We don't have one long enough, do we? Let me try again. Nope. All right, well, let's go to the cover stitch and go ahead and sew this one. And I'll go cut another piece. I'm not even going to press this one. I think it's fine. Just using my mini scissors here. Just tuck it under. I'll just kind of feel for it. It might have fallen on the floor too, if you saw my floor. There's a lot of glitter on the floor. Glitter fabric. Okay, and again, which one's the back? That's the back, so I want to make sure that that seam allowance is going the right direction. So if you look closely, you can see my needle is just off the edge of that binding. There we go. Looking good. And if I don't want that little extra fabric, I can trim it off, but this fabric will not fray. So, all right. Back to the serger. We'll just finish this one seam so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll show you how I did the hem. Just because I have a lot I have to finish today, so I better get rolling. All right, so there's the inside seam. Look at how cute that looks. I only have one spool of the variegated thread. Otherwise, this side would be variegated as well. So we just need this armhole, and we're just about done. Let's go ahead and cut one more piece. How are we doing on time? Got about 6 more minutes before I have to go. So we'll try it. Helen, did you say your room is the same, a hot mess? Yeah, it's a hot mess. Hey, Suzanne, I copied the pattern last week off of my niece's dresses. So I did not make a pattern, but I had about 5 people ask me if I would make a pattern. I might have to because these are super cute. So the girls turned 7, so this would be technically probably a size 6-ish. The binding, yeah, 1.5 inches. I was using my strips, my Angela Wolf strips to cut those. It's so fast and easy. All right, come on over. Let's make one that we can make just long enough so I can finish this. Teresa, if you're still watching, do you think I'm going to get this in the mail? I don't know. Oh, I found one on the floor. Is this one long enough? No. So I need one that long. I must have dropped one. We'll just cut another one. So yeah, this is 1.5 inches. How many of you have these strips? They're on my website. It's like a rubber on the back side. You can so quickly cut bias, strips, anything like that so fast. All right, back to the machine. I really want to show you how I did the hem because I think you're going to just love it. Now, if you guys are timing this, including talking to you, including cutting a pattern, including dropping a piece, all the other things that I do, we are 30 minutes in, which if I wasn't talking, I'd be finished already. Let me make sure I'm doing it right. So it's wrong sides together. Oh, this was the one that was cut just a little bit off the shoulder. So I'm going to cut off. See how I cut one shoulder a little bit wider than the other? No biggie. We will just cut it off right now. Now it's even. We're just going to make the cut here. Ay, ay, ay. Just enough. All right, back to the cover stitch. So I have a question for you. When you are serging or you're sewing knits, you're obviously, if you have a cover stitch machine, you're going back and forth from one to the other, right? Oh my goodness. My camera, I think, is also having a day like mine. Discombobulated, that's the word. Discombobulated. Do you keep, so my question is, do you keep your serger on the same table as your cover stitch machine? Or do you have them on separate? So just take a quick look. This table here, this is a horn cabinet. This is actually one of their older cabinets. So I put this over the opening because I just have my serger and my cover stitch. And then over here, if I get out of the way, over there, if I was sewing, that's where I would keep my serger. But this works out great for both of them. And if you watched my live show a few weeks ago, you saw some of the new horn cabinets for the Avenir. They're really nice. All right, we're just about there. Oh, goodness, look at that. Not even skip stitches. So maybe my day's turning around, right? All right, back to the serger. Wrong sides together. We're going to sew together the side seam, and we're hemming, and we're done. Oh, I did make matching dresses for the dolls, by the way. I did. You all asked about that, and so my sister sent me some measurements, and that turned out really cute. All right, there's a lot to get through that first part on the serging. I'll take my serge thread here. I'll just cut that off later. Sometimes I wrap that thread around to the front, but I just think there's too much fabric there. Look at that. Even the hems meet up. Okay, so we are just about finished. Here's the inside. Here's the adorable outside. And because we wrapped the bindings to the right side and used this variegated thread, it's not super thick. I took away basically a whole nother layer of fabric because it would have been a full binding. All right, you ready for the hem? So on your serger, I'm changing some of my settings. You can't see them from this side, but I'm changing my stitch length to a 2.0. So it's going to be shorter. And my width I have to the widest width. So the widest width, and I'm changing my length to a 2.0. Don't mess with your differential feet unless you want a wavy hem. I don't want a wavy hem. The only thing I have to remember is which side's the back. So I push the seam allowance out of the way. So I have to think about this. Do I serge it with the wrong side up? I can't remember. I'll tell you in just a moment. Yes. So if I had two spools of, maybe I should do that. So their dresses are different. See how that looks on the right side? And this side's just purple. Oh, what time is it? Do I have enough time? Oh, sure. 2 minutes. Let's put this in the serger. I'll bring you back over here. I'm just going to pull it through to make it super fast. So now both of my loopers are going to have the variegated thread. I see somebody asking, are you going to carry this thread? I am. I just haven't put an order in yet. I wanted to make sure I was here to be able to ship out, because if I'm not here, shipping can be a problem. Not a problem for me, but a problem for you. All right, so let's just pull this through. This is the needle. Came all the way through. Yay. Again, this is the Brother Airflow 3000, which if I'd put that in the hole, I could have pushed the button right here. Boom, and it would have threaded. Okay, I think last week after our show, the next day I came in and I finished the girls' dresses and the other dresses, the doll dresses, in 1 hour. So now I just need to decide which color I want to be on the bottom side. Oh, let's go this way. There's the front. That means this seam allowance is going to be pushed this way. I like to start at the side, and that way where I start and stop will blend in. So check this out. I'm not stretching the fabric. I'm literally doing a 3-thread wide narrow overlock. So I don't have to turn it under. I don't have to worry about the hem curling up. Let's see, that's the front. That's the back. I know. I think we should just let's just do a summer of girls' dresses. We'll just send Kira and Sienna notes, let them pick out fabric, and I'll make them clothes every Wednesday. Getting to the end, I want to cross over where I started. Oh yeah, this is looking really good. I'll just serge off. And because it's a 3-thread wide overlock, it will stretch as well. You've got to see this. Let's go to the ironing board so you can see this. I'll give it a little pressing. And then it's almost ready to go into a bag. I have to do a little bit more to secure the side seams. Okay, look at this hem. Oh my goodness. I think I'd have to wear this inside out. And what's on the right side? The other color of variegated thread. So you got the purple on one side, the pink on the other, which they wanted pink and purple. Didn't that turn out great? I had to share that with you. That was the easiest hem ever. And you can see where I started and stopped right here on the side, just barely. So the one thing I will do is take the side seams to the sewing machine. And I just want to tack that just a little bit to make sure that this stays in place. I'll turn this down, tack that straight stitch. Let's see, I'll probably do the same thing here at the shoulders. Turn under, turn in that seam allowance, and I'll do a little tack right there and right here. And that sewing machine's way over there with no camera. So you'll just have to trust me on that. So we're all done. So Sienna now has a matching tank top. How fun. So what do you guys think? Don't you love that neckline? What a great way to use the variegated thread and the cover stitch machine. Now, I have a double cover stitch machine, so I could have decorative stitches on both sides, but not today. All right, that's it. What do you think? All right, so I'll ask you a favor. If you like it, be sure to click subscribe, especially if you're on my YouTube channel. Click subscribe. We are almost to my goal of how many subscribers. So that means I hope you're loving the shows. But this is so cute. So again, this is what the dress looks like. And now Sienna, her twin sister, who's not wearing the dress, will have a matching tank to go with her dance leggings. How's that? Oh, yeah, super fun. So drop your comments or questions. Let me see what you have. Will I be making a pattern? Maybe, Suzanne, maybe. But, oh, I already answered that. It was last week. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, hey, Tommy, how are you? And we've got, your room is a mess too, Helen. I know, it is. Oh, you guys put yours next to each other. That's very cool. Thank you. It's super fun. All right, did I miss any questions? Otherwise, I have to run. Oh, Susan, do you always attach binding for attaching the shoulder seam and side seam? No. If it was my outfit, I actually sew the side seam and the shoulder seams and then add binding. But because we were low on fabric, that's why I did the neckline that way for the binding. If I had a piece to go all the way around, I would have done that. That's what I did on Kira's dress and actually the doll dresses. But this works when you're low on fabric. And then for the armholes, usually I don't do it this way either. But for kids' clothes, you don't have a lot of room to get in there. So for kids, yes. For me, no. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah, Jody, maybe. I know, isn't that fun? I did not double fold the hem, Kathleen, just once. It was just folded once. And that's why the raw edge is on the outside where I ran the cover stitch machine. I know. I'm so happy you guys are here. Nice to see you. I have to run. We have a big fishing tournament this weekend, so wish us luck. So far, we've been hanging in there. I don't want to jinx myself. So hopefully the weather will be nice. And and I'll pop back in here. So again, if you're on Facebook, be sure to hit the like button. If you want to watch this again, save it to share it to your Facebook page, give it to your friends that love to sew. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to click like and subscribe. It is so great to see you all. I will see you tomorrow on Brothers Show. We will be live in the chat tomorrow. And other than that, stay dry. In Michigan, it is... Somebody's in my yard. It is pouring. And I hope all the squirrels stay. I won't even go into the squirrels. But yes, the squirrels have been eating the nuts. I'll bring the squirrel cam up next time. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Nice to see you.